Hey, Mike?
Yep.
Is it okay if we push the tables up this way?
Sure.
Okay.
If they do bite, I nibble.
I think this is a lot better. Yeah, it's just way too far. Right.
While you work. Long time.
I need 1 minute.
Okay. We need 1 minute.
Sorry, I'll get YouTube going.
Ready? Mike, can we go ahead and start? Okay. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, October 18, 2023. And we will go ahead, if you can turn your cell phones off, and we'll stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. Is anybody taping? Val? Just Val is. We're going to start with the approval of the minutes from Wednesday, September 20th, 2023. Is there any changes that need to be made to the minutes? No? I make a motion to approve the minutes. Do I have a second? All in favor? Unanimous? And before I start, Millie's not with us tonight. She is very much under the weather. She has what's going around. So Millie, if you're listening, we hope you feel better very soon. We'll start with board correspondence. Letter from Patrona Turman, going to be read by Leo.
Submitted October 1st, 2023. Dear BCPO Board Directors, I would like to request that the annual Brookridge Expo Senior Information Day be scheduled for Wednesday, January 24, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the clubhouse. This event is for Brookridge residents. I'm also requesting that outside vendors be invited to participate. Brookridge clubs will be offered free participation. Thank you in advance. I hope to see you there. Patrona Turman.
Any discussion? And Patrona, that day's open? Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the 2024 Brookridge Expo on Wednesday, January 24th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the clubhouse for Brookridge residents and outside vendors.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. The second is a letter from Linda Walls. Leo?
Yes.
Okay.
This is an item I would like the board to review and consider revising in the bylaws of Brookridge Community Property Owners Incorporated. The following was the time frame in the past. I feel that it's approximately 30 days from the October to November board meetings, and that should give residents sufficient time to vote. The time frame now, I feel, is too much time from the September to November board meeting, which is approximately 60 days. Your consideration is in revising this bylaw would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, Linda Walls, resident.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I had a couple things to say.
when reading this, essentially it's shortening the opportunity for our residents, whether they be snowbirds or non-snowbirds, from 60 to 30 days. I'm in opposition to this. I would not favor this, and for these reasons. I believe 60 days is a reasonable time frame to get the vote. The snowbirds have mail times, especially our Canadian friends, and anyone who lives in another country. When we mail something from here to Canada, they get it, they return it. It doesn't allow, in my humble opinion, for enough time, as well as if there are any ballot errors, which we had maybe 2 years ago, we wouldn't have sufficient time to fix the ballot error and still do it. So I'm going to vote no on this, and that's my perspective.
George, do you have anything? Leo, do you have anything?
No?
I also agree with Jim, and it is for the 60 days mainly. It's just to give enough time with a meal and just getting them to, basically to Canada, back. Some may be in another country, back. If there's questions, things like that, it still gives them enough time. So I would agree with the 60 days that we currently have.
I agree also.
It wasn't really,
It
to
wasn't
make a
a
motion or
motion.
to vote, it was
Yeah.
really just you guys to talk about it.
Right.
And then if you did want to consider changing it, it would have to be on the ballot in March. If you guys don't want to go forward with changing for it, then it's just
Right, is there any discussion on it?
I mean, Linda, you're here, did you want to?
Do you want to say anything on it, Linda, or the election committee, or anybody open to anything that you have to?
Linda Walls.
Hello, Linda.
Linda Walls, Unit 4. This is the first year that they've had the 60 days. We've always had from October to November.
Working on it.
As far back as I could go was 2018. That's when we moved in here. We've never had a problem in the past except that one year. That was the year Mark Keller was president. We didn't really have a GM during that time. There was, in COVID, the office was open, the office was closed. So mistakes were made. But we've never had a problem until then. I think 60 days is way too much. There was never any problem with the mailing time in the past. So there shouldn't be going forward on the mailing time.
Linda, and I understand that, my view is really this simple. If having the extra 30 days gives us a greater opportunity to get more people, more members of the community to vote, so their true voice of the members is heard, I'm all for that, and that's why I would disagree with this. So that's my perspective, my personal perspective.
I don't think the extra 30 days will create more votes. People put them away to the side, forget about them. There's more discussion on social media. So then when they find their ballots, they go, oh, well, they say to vote no. You know, I just think a lot of negative with it.
Well, let's look at it, see what we've got this year with the 60 days compared to the previous years, and make a comparison, and then move, once the election, once we've got the ballots back, we can actually get a good number, we can see how many has come back, and we're definitely not opposed to revisiting this. I don't think any of us are, if we just take into consideration the ballots that come in, see how many versus the previous years. Did the additional 30 days make a big deal or not? And
Okay. When that amendment was proposed under Anna Webster, it wasn't proposed at a meeting. It was a town hall meeting. So was that legal? Yes. Yes, it was put on the ballot, but there was, in going back through all my paperwork, there's nothing, it was a special town hall meeting to go over the revisions for the bylaws that they wanted to make. So did they even make motions to approve them? Because there's nothing on the paperwork that I've got.
okay, that Thank you, Sandy. That is, and I think that sheds some light on this. How do you all feel about us researching this table and bringing it up at the next meeting? It is too late to change it for this year. That would not be fair.
No, it wouldn't
Right,
be, but ongoing.
Right, and to look and see exactly what was voted on for this particular item here. We're not opposed to that. Is anybody opposed to it? That
Well, what if we,
research it?
Well, what if we, we could research it, but like Arlene said, we could actually, if we have to in March, let the residents vote on it if we have to. But if it's been done illegally, like a lot of things, we need to correct it.
Right, we do, right. And if it was not done,
Yeah, I can't find, I save all the agendas.
right,
There was nothing on the agenda, it was a special town hall.
There's nothing,
okay.
there's nothing.
And I'm not opposed to putting it on a ballot either,
Just,
item
if she calls again.
for people to vote on.
That would be good.
And get everybody's consensus, whether they want 30 or 60. It's only fair that when it comes to election items, I think, I don't know how everybody else feels, but when it comes to election items, I feel very strongly that it has to go to the residents and
I
not to
agree,
us.
I agree wholeheartedly on that.
Okay, so I make a motion to table this so that we can research it and come back next month with an answer on this. Would that be satisfactory to you?
That will be fine.
Okay, can I get a second on this? Leo, all in favor to table so we can research? Aye? Yep, unanimous. Okay.
Article 12.
This one here is a letter from Val Stratton.
Annual.
No, that's one.
Go right to the.
Right there. Yeah.
Okay. Topic for annual membership meeting. I believe we should ask the membership how they feel about the entrance signs at the entrance meeting. Regarding rules and regulations, Article 4, Section 4, entrance signs, should the meeting signs be eliminated? Current rules state permanent or weekly signs are not allowed except during the month of May through September. Or if we continue with the signs, should the rules be enforced? Sincerely, Val Stratton, Unit 3.
Is there any discussion? Val, did you want to say anything on this, or? Okay. Is there any discussion on this?
Okay.
You knew I had a question. The signs, why only April through September? Oh, Sandy, Lewis, Unit 1. Why are signs only allowed there April through September? I don't get that. It's not like up north where they're gonna be in the way of the snow or anything like that. It should be year round. And as far as, I do the Monday night show and we put the sign up the night of the show. I like the signs, you know what's going on, you know when it's going on. When it's over, they take it down, somebody else puts a sign there. I mean, how are you gonna know what's going on?
I just looked up, I don't know if who was, okay.
Vivian Blair, Unit 4.
as far as the signs are concerned, you know, she was saying she puts it up for the show, yes, but there's signs that are up there all the time. They should not, my opinion, should not have signs up there if it's a weekly thing. You know they have water aerobics every Monday and Thursday or whatever days they are. Why does that sign have to be there 7 days a week, 35 days a month? I mean, that's ridiculous. Those signs should be for monthly reminders, like the shows, and the things that are only there. Everybody knows when bingo is, if they're a bingo player. You don't need a sign to tell you. It should be for meetings, like the golf course has meetings on this particular date, and different clubs have once a month meeting. That's my opinion. You don't need it for the weekly things.
Val, did you want to say something?
Thank you, Vivian.
Oh, okay. Okay. That was quick. Did anybody else have a comment? Tracy?
I'll speak to this real quick.
Tracy McCumber, Unit 2. I just want to mention that the Traffic Safety Committee has this particular item under review right now, and we're working on a lot of options. So we've talked about this, and it's just not something we have tabled it because we have other priorities, but I do want to let you know that we are working out a solution. So what it is right now, I can't tell you that, but I do want to let you know that we're working on some kind of compromise with those signs. So we feel that they might be a distraction. We got a lot going on coming in that gate, so that's our main focus. But again, we're working on it, and as soon as we come up with something, I'll certainly let everybody know. Thank you.
Val, you have something.
I forgot.
Okay.
Val Stratton, Unit 3. What I was curious about, and maybe Tracy and her group can look at this, if we had public roads, would those signs even be allowed to be there? Could they look into that? And my other thing is, those rules are in the rules and regulations right now, so it'd be nice if they were enforced.
Thanks, Val. Leo, you want to go ahead and make that motion? Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I think if you look at the signs out there coming in the median on Brookridge Central, they're half tipped over. They look like crap, so we definitely need to do something, one way or the other, either put new boards up there, have them maintained well, or really, I mean, I hope they do come down if that's the way they're gonna be, because they look terrible. And they have for years. And it's time to address it.
All right, why don't we rent the signs? Why don't we rent the space and take the money to keep the Central Avenue up? If they want to use the signs, pay a fee for it and upgrade the area. I mean, that sounds simple.
Can we have your name and your unit number?
I use Bill Hall, Unit 4.
Thank you. Did you hear that, Patrol? Bill Hall. Yeah. Okay. Leo?
Okay, I make a motion to place on annual membership meeting agenda, Rules and Regulations, Article 4, Section 4, entrance signs.
I second. All in favor? Unanimous?
Okay, next letter is from the Veterans Committee. The holiday season is slowly approaching. We, the Veterans Committee, are requesting approval for the community involvement of the Marine Corps annual Toys for Tots program. We would like to place drop-off boxes within the administrative building as well as the community clubhouse during the holiday season. Boxes will be in the administrative office and clubhouse. The year of 2022, the program serviced 2,680 Hernando County children and distributed 12,541 toys, significantly up from the prior year. The year of 2021, the program serviced 2,276 Hernando County children and distributed 8,793 toys. I have been informed of the desire to break last year's numbers. The program desires toys for children 0 to 12 years old. I have been informed that the greatest need is for children 12 years plus. The Marine Corps organization cannot distribute any clothing, so please, toys only. Primary contact is Jill Langto, 352-835-2177, and secondary contact would be Rosemary Basteri. Thank you for your attention to our request. BCPO Veterans Committee.
Do I have any discussion?
Yeah. Down in administration, where would we put it? I mean, you got the table down there, you got the rope across, you got
Where the voting box is.
Where the voting box, we put it right next to it.
Okay. Thank you, Gil.
And I'll make sure they get picked up right on a regular basis, at least once a week. Thank you for this decision.
All right, Leo. Motion.
I make a motion to approve the Toys for Tots collection boxes to be placed in the administrative office and clubhouse upon board approval. These boxes will be monitored by Jill Langto or Rosemary Buster.
Question.
Let's get up there.
Rich? Yeah, can I get a second on this? A second for the for the box, the collection box?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
It passed unanimous.
Make it simple. Toys for Tots, a couple of years ago, Rich Stratton, Unit 3, I'm sorry, the men's club and social dance put together $700 out of their pockets to go to Route 192 Disney World, 50% off shop, and being a veteran, they gave you another 20%. We had 8 tables filled with toys here. 8 tables. Now, why can't we do that again? Not a box. This is great. But when you walk in and see a table full, you feel you should donate that. I look at a box, I look, oh, what is this here? Oh, gee, what is that? $2 box. You don't do that. We're fortunate to have what we have here today. And in doing that, for gifts we went out, because 1-year-old to 8-year-old, yes, 8 to 12, and 13 to 18. They weren't toys for the older people, the older kids. They were something they could use. They don't want toys.
They want bikes.
Yeah, we bought bikes. We bought bicycles. Come on. If anybody can run this here, I know Gil wants to do that, I'll give him a hand. It's just the idea that we got to give something to these kids. Period. You know, they're kids. In the world right now, we may not have it anymore. Yes, Gil?
This is only for Hernando County families.
That's right, right here.
Right here, it's not going national or nothing.
No, when they come and pick the stuff up here, the Marines, it just goes to those kids only in Hernando County. So simple. So, you know, if you want to put a contribution together, just let Gil know. We love to put something together. It's something we're doing for the community, not for us, it's for kids. Period. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to stand here so I can see everybody, and you won't have to look at my petunia. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for having the trust in us to continue serving all of you, because that's what we do. We serve all of you. We greatly appreciate it. Just a couple of updates, and I thought this would be a good time to speak about the election committee. I know, let me just say what I've got to say here, and then I'll give it to you. No, we, actually I had the pleasure to go into the last unit rep meeting, and I made it clear to our election committee that was there, and I want to make it clear to everybody here and all the residents, this board is completely 100% hands off the election. You will not see us at all dealing with anything for this election. I had even said if that ballot box was rolling outside, I wouldn't stop it. It's hands off. That is the best, honest, and transparent way that we can be. If there is a problem, they can go to Arlene. I asked Arlene, if you have to, when you go to the attorney, then, oh, my time's up. That's all right, but I had to say that. For her to go to the attorney, to just CC us, but there will be no reply from us. The day that the in-person is taking place, we will come up here only to answer questions. We will not come around any of those tables. If they have a question, they can meet us somewhere in the middle. But I just wanted to make sure that that was put out to all the residents. We are firm on that as a board, that we will have nothing to do with the election. However it is, that's what elections are for, okay? I want to give a quick update on Fleetway. I know, I don't know if you have been watching it. I did look at it again online. There was some services that was returned on that house. And basically they have to serve a number of people that was either on the deed or had lived there at one time. It all came back to the courthouse. Undeliverable, unserved, so now they're moving on to the next step. That is a process like I had told you before, but we are moving forward now. There is a person that's on the deed that is no longer with us, and they still had to take the time to go out and serve that person, even though they knew that the person was no longer here. So just wanted to bring you up to date on that. And also, I know we have a smaller crowd tonight. Just by an unofficial show of hands, we had thought about Thanksgiving, either Thanksgiving Eve or Thanksgiving night. We know a lot of people in here may not have a place to go or something like that. The board was willing to come and open up so that if people wanted to play some cards or do something like that or a get-together, would anybody be interested in something like that for Thanksgiving or Christmas? No? Yeah. Oh, one? Gil? Oh. If you're, okay. Just to come up, I mean, it would be no pool open, you know, we would have to stay mainly in here, we have facilities here, but people who would like to come up, play cards, just meet, mingle, whatever, bring a snack, a piece of pie, whatever. So we'll go forward with that, and we thought maybe Christmas Eve or something like that, people are alone, or Christmas night, something like that. So we'll come back further with that and get some more input on it. The other thing is working on a chili cook-off. Is everybody interested in that? Okay, more hands for that. Okay, great. All right, great. So we're working on that too, that we can have, and then working on some things when the snowbirds come back. We will be having, we'll take over one day up here also to have an employee holiday party. So we just want to let you know about that ahead of time. That's in the plans too. We do have the roads coming up in January. We will be putting out bids for the roads. That is going to be a huge undertaking project in here, and that's going to take several large companies to get those bids in. We have to do a scope of work and things like that. So that's coming up also, okay? And George wants to say, Jim has his treasure report, but George wants to say something. Leo wants to say something, so I'm gonna shut up now and sit down. But thank you, we appreciate every single one of you. And just putting a plug out there for the entertainment, the Thursday entertainment. I went for the first time, and I can tell you it was absolutely fabulous. So if that was our first time, they did an outstanding job. And if you haven't got tickets or got a chance to go, I highly recommend it. And Dick and his whole crew, Trudy and Terry and all them, they do an outstanding job. So thanks everybody, I appreciate every single one of you.
Okay. This has been a topic, and this has been a big subject, and a lot of phones have rung over this. Why is the outbound gate always up? Well, I think the biggest reason is because it's so slow that it comes up, and it might stay up for 4 minutes, and all of a sudden it falls down. We can't afford to keep hitting the vehicle. So that's why it's up. But we ordered a brand new tower and a brand new arm. It's going to be taken out. The outbound gate on the resident side, that piece of crap that we have out there is coming down. So we're going to get a brand new one. It should be in and done within a week and a half. It's been ordered. I just want to throw that out there.
Will it be faster?
That will match.
Oh yeah, much faster.
That's going to match the inbound.
Okay.
And as far as we've had complaints and stuff about the barcodes, some of it is because of the gate is so slow, and when it was down, people would piggyback and try to get out before anybody else. Well, that eye only can read so many at once, and if it's not reading, it's going to come down. So that's why it's up. It's nobody's fault. The gap check is doing exactly what they should do, because we don't want nobody to get hurt. Been brought to my attention, and it's in the deed restrictions that no more working for the contractors on Sunday here. That means mowing lawns, building houses, doing decks. We're not supposed to have them in here. That was on a 1-year thing because we had rain every 4 or 5 days, and they had to come in to get the mowing done. I suggest that we go back to what it was supposed to say in the deed restrictions, no work in here on contractors on Sundays, because we do have that problem. So now, we got a radar gun. Oh, come in.
We always did.
Antoinette, Unit 1. I was just going to ask you, actually.
Can't hear you. Put the mic up.
I'm sorry, I forgot what I was going to ask you. Oh, about because I worked at Garjack, and we were allowed to let the landscapers come in on Sunday. Now, whose job is it for those landscapers to know? So we suggest maybe sending out an email or a letter or something to the residents, letting them know they need to let their people know not to come in on Sundays.
We can send out an email blast.
Yeah, we can do that.
Right, yeah.
That would be helpful, thank you.
Thank you. And then we have an issue, you know, that we bought a brand new radar gun for around $5,000. The old one sat in there for 2 years because it wasn't worth fixing. Well, Harry and Rich took it out, had it taken out to Colorado, the people that manufactured this, and it cost us $137 to fix. So, to me, is we wasted $5,000.
They waived the 137.
Yeah, they waived the 137. I did not know that. Thank you. So, I mean, it's sad, we went with, we could have had that gun fixed back then, we wouldn't be going through the $5,000. And I got one more thing, and then I'll sit down and be quiet. Don't laugh, Terry. You know, everybody's been talking about it, we're getting suspended from the privileges at the pool because of, you know, the church services that they have up here, and all the groups, the entertainment, if we get caught speeding. My opinion, and this is only my opinion, and I'm gonna work on it, so that I don't think we should lose our privileges at the clubhouse, because we're speeding. I don't know if that's something we can put on the agenda to vote on. I mean, they can, on the max to vote on, I don't know. But I am gonna work on that, and that's been a big, I've had a lot of telephone calls about that. Probably like 10 a day there for a while. So, if you guys, is there anything you wanna say? Go ahead. Yeah, that's true too.
Hi, Julia Reinhardt from Unit 4. You can't hear me? Okay. All right. The thing is, you turn around and you're taking, when people come into the gate, they're giving someone's address to get in. And they start speeding and I get the fine?
No, it actually creates a picture with the speed on it, and if it's a pizza place or a food delivery, they actually send it to the food place.
Okay, what if
So,
it's a car?
It is a car. We just.
No, I'm not talking about a delivery car. I'm talking about someone coming in and giving your address that you have no idea who they are.
Then you need to call the office. You call the office, get the code enforcement, and tell them what you've done. That you don't even know this person. That's what I would do. And I'm sure that Harry can work out something to help everybody out. Go ahead. Hold on.
I have another suggestion on that. Antoinette, Unit 1, instead of calling just the office, immediately, as soon as it comes up, if you use your Gates Entry app, and it comes up on your Gates Entry app, and you don't know them, call the guard check immediately.
Right.
Okay.
My son came down, and I never got anything from him.
Okay, so we can take this at member comments. Yeah.
You wanted to say something?
We'll take it at member comments.
Okay, I guess that's all I got to say. I think it's going to be good when we get the new tower and see what happens from there, okay?
I recently attended the unit reps meeting. And every time I go, I learn something more about the unit reps. And they get more involved than what they're called to do. Unit reps normally assist the understaffed election committee. And they were briefed by the election committee how to clear votes at the election. And they were given procedures to follow to clear people for their vote. So basically what I'm saying, if they have someone
I think, Leo, I was at that meeting with you, and I think what we would probably really like to say is how much the unit reps help and everything that they have been assisting with.
Yeah.
And they are going to be assisting with the elections and,
And they've been given instructions on how to do it.
correct. So they are a very valuable asset to Brookridge. So thank you very much.
And I'm surprised they do that, because that's not really part of the function, but they gladly do it.
Right, and they
And
really,
seriously.
right, and they step up when we really need the additional help in just about anything that we have. So thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. I'll try to be brief about the treasurer's report. In thousands of dollars, the operating balance is $312,970. The total income for this last month was $173,000. The expenses were $124,000, so that's a positive sign. In the reserve amount, we have $422,000 that's been deposited this year. In September, we made the 8th of 10 payments. I made 46,310 was put in, and that brings that balance to 422,160. We earned interest of 5369 for the month. Year-to-date interest in reserves only is 23,840. In operating, we have $446 in interest for the year-to-date, 6,600. Grand total in interest is 30,467, which, by the way, just in 18 days, it's now 35,341. So we're up just short of $5,000 in 18 days. At the very bottom, A, B, and C just gives you some footnotes. We still have to do reserve funding. 2 payments of $45,570. That's for last year. That's 2022. 2 payments of $52,770. That's the final 2 payments for this year. On the 16th, I did make a payment of $45,570. That would be the 9th payment from 2022, and that was done just a couple days ago. And that's the highlights.
Jim, I'm very impressed with what you're doing on the investments.
Thank you.
We've never had that kind of income before.
If it wasn't for Jim's hard work in knowing how to do the CDs and things like that, we had to make up money from 2022 that was not put in the reserves. We would be in a very different place if not for Jim and all the hard work that he does to help us make more money, which helps us do more things. So thank you very much, Jim. Thank you. Arlene, did you have anything you wanted to say tonight? Okay, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. We have been talking about the balance quite a bit. Oh, sorry, Vivian. My name is Arlene Aarons, General Manager, BCPO. And we have been talking about the ballots so far, so I'm just going to continue a little bit about that. They have been mailed, which you are all aware, and many have been already turned in. The last date to vote, this is important, in person or online, is Monday, November 13th by 4 p.m. at the admin office. And then there will also be in-person voting here at the clubhouse on November 14th, which is Tuesday. The times for that is 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Be sure to bring a photo ID if you choose to vote in person. And if you haven't received your ballot, because some of you might be snowbirds, it might be here, you might be there, etc., you may come to the admin office and we will gladly give you one. Every vote counts, so I do encourage everybody to please get your ballots in. A couple of other items, the lease for the copiers, they will be expiring soon. We have signed a new lease with Kyocera for 60 months. We will be getting 2 brand new copiers, and the good news is that the lease price has decreased. So we were paying $832.20 per month, and we will now be paying $637 per month for a savings of $133.47 per month times 60 months, so totaling approximately $8,000 of savings over the next 5 years. And just lastly, we have started using our new database called QuickBase. Some of you who've been getting barcodes, you might have noticed it's a different form. There are a few glitches still, but we are working them out, and we hope to have them resolved shortly. And we thank everybody for your patience.
Jim, do you want to, bocce ball court?
Yes, a quick topic for the bocce ball court. Clearly, the court needs to be either repaired or replaced. What I'm recommending is that we utilize, the intention is to utilize BCPO employees. We've already got a little head start where some of the boards have been taken off. So I have a motion to have the BCPO people, which means Vince, Craig, and we contracted someone in the neighborhood that Vince has worked with that has the skill set to do that. So my motion is to use those employees and try to keep the cost down. To get a contractor in, it will cost significantly more, and is with every contractor, when can you do it? Well, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Nobody can do it tomorrow. So at least give us the opportunity. If we find that there's a problem with the employees doing it, then we can reevaluate. So I'd like to make a motion. Could I get a second?
Yeah, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, pass unanimous.
When are they gonna start?
When do they go to start?
They're supposed to start tomorrow after we gave the approval tonight. Actually, if you walk out there, you'll see numerous boards have been taken off already. It was done in the cloak of darkness, so we don't really know who did it. So we'll leave it at that. But there's probably 70% of the top boards have been pulled off.
Okay, the next item is the RV compound. Jim, do you want to?
Yes, I had a request from a resident who I think wants to remain anonymous. She had given me 5 questions, or he, or they. We'll put it that way. Cover all the bases. And it was 5 separate questions, and I'd like to go through those. It's going to take a minute to do that. I'll try and be brief. Sadly, they're not 5 individual questions. They're 5 multi-question questions. So I'll go through those. Question number 1. There seems to be people out there claiming Brookridge. All our HOA members are currently paying up for the RV compound, and the RV compound owes money. Please clarify that. That is inaccurate. The RV compound does not owe us money. They've paid most of the expenses this year, and when I talk about expenses, they paid most of what I would call the hard expenses, things like electricity, the cameras, the fence screening, the gravel that was put in, and it's a very expensive item, gravel, by the way. Second question that goes with that is, please clarify that. Also, you said the RV compound probably has enough money to go another year. Please express your opinion. Yes, with the current funds that we have, if we made the expenses that we did this year, next year, we have roughly $7,086 in that RV fund. We spent $5,382. So there is plenty. If we didn't get another single dollar, we'd probably have enough, assuming the expenses were the same. Are they going to be the same? You know, nobody knows. Nobody has a crystal ball. Question number 2, please explain exactly what you want to charge the RV compound for. And then when they say you, I'm assuming they mean me. I'm, as a resident, and I don't have an RV, so I'm in there's 2 camps here. You have an RV, that's your group, or you don't have an RV, that's your other group. And I get it, there's 2 different groups there, perspectives. I think the RV compound should be paying all the expenses, all the hard expenses, and they all should be paying something to the soft expenses. So what's the soft expense? Insurance, taxes, wages of the staff, and security. How much should they pay? That's something that I think we should look into and come into a reasonable number so that it is truly self-sufficient. I would call it mostly self-sufficient right now. I'd like it to be, as a resident who doesn't have an RV, I'd like it to be 100% self-sufficient. Are we going to get there? I don't know. And what are the people going to vote? It'll be interesting because it's putting the vote out truly puts it in the residents' hands. Question number 3. There's a Brookridge maintenance building in the RV compound. Does code enforcement currently drive by and check that? And then the other part of the question is, does it have electricity and who pays for that? So the first answer is yes. The code enforcement, when they go in, and this is from the gentleman that I spoke to in the code enforcement, they go roughly 3 times during the day and twice or 3 times at night. At night, they're just checking the lock is locked on the gate, that nobody's in there. They do a drive on the outside perimeter so they can see into the RV compound. And if you've ever been there at night, it's lit up like Disney World. So they do that 5 times a day, essentially, on average. The electricity, let's talk about that. Our electrical bill for the lighting for this community. Does anyone have a guess on what we pay for electric lights every month? Anybody? $3,000. No, it's more like 7. So $84,000 a year we're paying for street lights, and that includes the RV lights. The RV compound pays this year, according to information from Gil, $825 was their share that they agreed to pay. So take 84,000, divide that by, you can see 800 is a pretty reasonable number. Question number 4, if Brookridge charges the RV compound members for storage, would Brookridge then accept liability for theft, damage, and also liability coverage? Would they require memberships to sign a waiver? This is private property, how would that work? So the answer is no. We would not provide theft or damage, just as if you parked in the clubhouse or the admin building and someone stole your car, it would not be covered under Brookridge's policy. Now, if you fell as you were walking to your car on any property that we have, that's covered under our liability coverage. Would there be a waiver? No, no waiver would be required. And again, think of the RV compound just like the clubhouse, the admin building, or even the golf course facility. It's all common property. If there was insurance, you'd be covered whether we charge for it or not. Last question, if Brookridge charges for the RV compound, what would happen to that fund? And there would be no changes to that fund. As I said, there's $7,386. That doesn't go away. It doesn't get taken by Brookridge. It's part of RV-only money. And that money, so everybody knows, is kept in the Capital City Bank account under the donated funds account. So when you look at the treasurer's report, you see donated funds of $20,000. Part of that, that $7,300 of that is for RV compound only. 1 second, sit tight. I'll come back in 2 seconds. All the money that was donated to the RV compound and not Brookridge, it was not donated as part of the reserve fund. That's correct. It has nothing to do with the reserve fund. The donated funds are completely separate from the reserve. To give you a quick idea, the original balance that we started in January was $10,700. Our current balance now, as I said, is $73.86. We have total donations of $2,050, total expenses of $5,300. And again, all of those funds are in a donated fund account, not in a reserve account. And then there was the last question asked, well, can that money be invested in CDs or other items? We could do that. I've chosen not to do that for 2 reasons. One, the balances are too small, and if I'm investing $1,000 at 5%, that's only $50. Is it worth the effort? No. And when you do a CD, it's not instantly liquid. So if we needed the money, if Gil came to me and said, Jim, I need $2,000, well, if I put it in a CD yesterday, I couldn't get it out for at least 90 days. So that's why I said. One thing that concerns me as a resident, as well as a treasurer, there's 260 some odd spots. We only had 32 donations. Those 32 donations means that 228 people did not donate a single penny. Not a penny. When you have a 6-figure RV, you gave no money to the RV compound. Somebody said, well, Jim, why are you trying to fix something that's not broken? Well, I would submit that, in fact, if you have 87% of your people not donating, it's a broken process. So the average donations, when you take 2,000 divided by the 32, is $64 per person. Gil, go ahead. Please.
One thing I'm going to ask you, Jim, is on this, Gil, I told unit number 4. Okay. One thing on this treasurer's report, what happened, a lot of people are asking me, is where does the expenses that the RV compound paid for is shown here? We don't see it. And that's where a lot of people get the idea that the RV compound's not paying anything. Yeah, but it's not shown on here.
In this September report, there were no funds that were paid in the month of September for the RV compound. But over the entire year from January through October, There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different payments totaling $5,382.
I understand that. And I just want people to understand the RV compound doing the best they can and be mostly self-sufficient.
I would absolutely agree with that, Kel. I would absolutely agree they've been mostly
And
self-sufficient.
We're going to push to do more donations and do more in there. Right now, we put pads in for places where it was hot, people were getting stuck and all, no more of that. And we put 6 new pads in.
And if anyone who has an RV or anyone who doesn't have an RV would like to see where the expenses, we have a report that shows every donation that came in and every expense that went out. It's a simple one-pager. It's that simple. You're welcome to stop into the admin building anytime. We'd be happy to get it for you. Take me 2 seconds.
Yeah. Jim, the meeting you and I had was very productive. I greatly appreciate it. And I got a meeting that we're going to have with the compound people, and they're very productive. I think we're doing well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and is Lynn Murray, Esther White, Paul Harrison, Pat Menard, Michelle Adams, and Pat Cass here. Okay, can you come on up?
Deb, excuse me one
Oh,
second.
I'm sorry.
Jim, you had something else you wanted to bring up?
I'm very sorry.
Yeah. I got a request from the, I got a request that I made 2 meetings ago, and please come up, ladies, while we're talking. And the request is pretty simple. Stop paying in cash. Don't come into the office and don't pay in cash. You're putting us at an extreme risk when we're taking big chunks of cash to the bank. It puts our employees, or when I take a deposit, it makes all of us at a higher risk. Please don't pay in cash. We do check, we do credit card, we do electronic money order, electronic transactions. So if you could do that, that would be super helpful to us. Thank you.
Do you ladies want to step over here? Okay. Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly promise and swear that you will administer the office to which you have been appointed to the best of your ability, judgment, and conformity with the governing documents of Brookridge Community Property Owners, Inc.? That you will, in all your acts, be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and in every manner possible, endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interest of the citizens of Brookridge and the welfare of the membership. Do you swear? You may lower your hand. By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I do hereby proclaim and duly appoint to you the election committee and the unit rep committee, and officially install you into that office. Thank you. Thank you.
Just for clarification, Michelle Adams, she was a unit rep, and unfortunately she had to take a little bit of a break, but now she's back. She did get appointed last time as unit rep, but she wasn't sworn in, so it's kind of like a dual swearing in for Michelle this evening. And welcome back, Michelle.
Yes, welcome back. George, do you want to talk about the Architectural Control Committee application change?
Paul can correct me if I'm wrong or right. The ACC committee, Exhibit D, what we need to include in this is that we have, code enforcement must inspect rebar installation before pouring the cement, because we got people that aren't doing that. And we need to change this into the ACC and make it a rule, like Paul. And that's what we're looking for. And that's about it right there. Any questions on it, comments? I would like to make this a change in the ACC rules and regulations, that we accept the adoption of putting in rebar and having code enforcement to inspect it before they pour the cement. Do I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Unanimous? We have one other thing before we actually get to members' comments. We had bids that we have asked for the guardhouse for the sliding glass doors on each side. We cannot vote on them tonight because one of them came in past the time to get the agenda ready. But I wanted to just open them up while everybody was here to let you know what they were and who they were from and how much. But just to let everybody know, we can't vote on it tonight, okay? So the first one received was from Tropical Windows, and that was received October 4th. So I'll open that up right now. Tropical Windows, they've been in business since 1959. This was we will install 2, and they give a size 40-25 Scout Brown's aluminum doors, energy efficient, insulated glass. We will pull all permits, we will remove all doors and dispose of all the debris. Both doors key locked for the guardhouse. And it comes out to a total of $8,600 for this bid from Tropical Windows. The next bid that came in was Mid-State Glass. And this came in on October 7th. This is for Mid-State Glass of Citrus County up in Inverness. This is to replace the sliding glass doors, bronze aluminum frame, bronze insulated tempered glass, key lock them, no screen. They're saying a standard stack and a reverse stack. Customer to pay half down to order, balance due day of installation. Customer though to pull all permits. Okay, this is for a total of, with the 2 doors, the labor, the trip, they're charging us a trip fee of $90. Tax is $5,647, but we have to pull our own permits. The last one was from Hernando Aluminum, and that came in October 17th. This is Hernando Aluminum. This is to remove the sliding glass doors on the guardhouse, replace trim metal around doors on outside as needed with bronze metal trim, install 2 new pocket-style sliding glass doors, bronze frame, bronze double pane insulated glass, new tracks and framing of doors, basic commercial permit included. Does not include anything unforeseen at the time. It is for $5,130, and they are willing to pull the permits, which, I'm sorry, and they're, right. And so we will vote on these at the next, but we wanted to just tell you what we did receive, and so that you will know ahead of time before, and before we vote on them. So right now, I'll open it up for member comments. I do have one person that put in, Lauren. Lauren?
Hi, I'm Lauren Williams, Region 4, Zone 4, whatever you want to call it. I'm over there anyway. President of the Men's Club. We've had a very busy weekend and a very busy month, and I want to just come up here to thank the residents and their participation. We had a great time this past weekend. The car show, the breakfast. We served 175 breakfasts on Saturday. We had, I don't know how many people we had in here. On Sunday, the Crafty Stitchers were in here, and they have some awesome items, which they're going to be back again for our next event, which is in November, which I'll give you the date on that in just a second. But the cars were fabulous. My wife, who has, since she was a child, been in love with a red 57 Chevy. And guess what was in the parking lot? And she got a ride in it. She took her, the owner of that took her for a ride around, and I mean, she was like a giddy child. It's just wonderful. But I mean, the cars were beautiful. Just an event. If you didn't have a chance to get up there, we are going to have one again next year, and I hope that you'll have a chance to participate and come with that. The only cost that you have as a resident is your time. There's no cost to you. It only costs if you enter a car in a contest. And every car that was here, every person that put it in, and I'm sure Rich will reiterate this, but they received at least $25 or $30 back in gift cards and stuff. So it was a wash. It was like putting your car in for nothing and getting a whole bunch back. Plus we gave out 67 other gift envelopes and stuff. I'll let you take care of that. But anyway, I want to thank the residents and stuff, because without you, none of this would be happening. We were blessed with the outcome of it, and we're going to be able to do the things that we were hoping to be able to do because of it. Our next breakfast is November 18th. That's the only event we're doing in November. But we're also doing it with Crafty Stitchers and the BCPO yard sale. So we're all going to be up here. It's going to be a crowded place, but come up and start your day with breakfast. It's only $8. It's a full meal, catered by Breakfast Station. I'm sorry, I'm out of town. I'm out of town too. But not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we have another awesome event that if it wasn't for the Social Dance Committee, it wouldn't be near as good, because they've done an awful lot for us. In fact, they've been the primary maker of this Halloween dance. So I hope that you got tickets for that to come up and enjoy that night also. We're going to have judging of contests for the Halloween costumes. So I think I said everything I need to. Especially want to thank the men in the men's club, because they come out, they put in their time, and we don't ask anything back from them. They just donate our time. So thank you.
You're going to be on Veterans Day. Veterans Day, you're going to be there.
Yeah, Gil wanted us to mention we are helping with the Veterans celebration on the 8th, 9th. Okay.
The 11th.
Hey, I know how to count. So we'll be there. Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren. Anybody else have a comment? And then Rich, I'm gonna let this young lady go. Oh, come on. Oh. No, come on up. Yep. And then we'll let this young man go right after this young lady.
Marianne Lozelle, Unit 3, and I'll be very short because my doggy has his own water pills. I'm not going to bore you anymore with the Crime Watch. I will always say we need more people out, more people out, more people out. What I need to tell you tonight is November the 1st, at 9 a.m. This is our regular meeting time, and if we still have signs out at the boulevard, our sign will be out there to remind you. It's always the first Wednesday of the month is the meeting. And the November 1st is the meeting is going to be in here. We're trying to let as many people know as possible. We have Officer Groves is going to come in and speak to us on scams and frauds. We are a generation that is ripe for fraud. And I know two people personally. One fellow paid several $1,000s several different times, was not smart, to get a woman from Africa. I have another woman who is trying to cash checks for a band person, a person who plays music, in Croatia, because apparently Croatia must not have any banks. And she is very, very upset because, thank God, her bank has frozen her accounts on 3 different occasions, because they understand that this woman is being scammed out. So this will be a very, very interesting meeting with Officer Groves. So I encourage you all to come and have a listen, because these scammers are brilliant in their approaches to everybody. They could have you thinking that black is white. So it's something, you know, as long as somebody explains to you what some of these frauds and scams are, it'll trigger something when you hear it. And know that no, it is not a good deal. So hope to see you on the 1st. Thank you.
Thank you.
Roger Bedard, Unit 2. I just want to take a moment to say thank you and appreciation to the whole board, all the unit reps, even Michael here, and I think a round of applause for the wonderful job that you're doing with this community. I do have one thing to say though, regarding the vendors that coming in on Sunday. Why, I got a question, a suggestion. Why can't they be stopped at the gate and told to turn around and leave? They're not allowed to do any work anyway. So what are they doing here to begin with? So if they're not let in, they ain't gonna do any work. That's just a suggestion.
You know, I can answer that. And it was because of, like I said, they had all the rain there one summer. They allowed everybody to come in when it wasn't raining. And even it affected Sundays to bring people in. But that was just a temporary thing. And it's never been stopped. And it's time it was. We got people in here that's coming in and solicit and try to get people to trim their palm trees on Sundays. You know, get people to come in and say, we got air conditioners, yeah, air conditioner's gone. It's not gone, it's scammers. And they're in here and they're getting money out of them. It's time to stop it. And I'm sure that the guard shack is probably gonna get a little slack, but they're gonna have to turn them around and get them out of here. Thank you. Thank you. And if they don't, we can call.
Linda, and then Tracy, and then I know Rich. Rich, I know you're waiting. I see you right back there. Oh, I'm sorry. Linda, can you let Linda, the other Linda? I'm sorry, Linda, I didn't.
Linda Toporski, Unit 6. To the BCPO Board of Directors and the community of Brookridge, the Rules and Regulations Ad Hoc Committee was formed in 2022. The mission was to update the document into 2023 and beyond. The last complete review was done like 15 years ago. This is our best effort for the community. The committee has worked very hard. We decided on language, discussed why each rule was important, and if it was enforceable in our changing community. We met with department heads, staff members, and to determine how the rules affect them in their day-to-day duties. After 15 months of weekly meetings, our committee has 5 remaining members: Deborah Burns, Daniel Bain, Mark Whitley, Paul Campbell, and myself. Gail Metcalf was our secretary and referee. And also, I'd like to mention Greg Schubert, who's no longer with the committee, but he was a great resource. We hope that the board will review our documents, vote on them, maybe, we hope by the next November meeting, and then adopt them within 30 days according to the bylaws. Also, we'd like you to review 3 deed restrictions, which I've put on the top of your packet. And if there's any questions, we'd be willing to reconvene, maybe in a liaison meeting or a workshop. And I'm sure there's going to be probably a lot of reason for us to reconvene. But thank you respectfully, the Rules and Regulations Ad Hoc Committee. And maybe, does my friend Mark want to?
Mark Whitley, Unit 1. I wanted to take a minute to explain to the residents that in making this new document, we had to follow a hierarchy in the governing documents. First and foremost is Florida Statute 720. There isn't, anything we put in the rules and regulations cannot contradict that law. After that, it's the deed restrictions. And anything that's in the deed restrictions, again, cannot contradict 720. We go down to the bylaws. The bylaws are really what the board uses to do their business. That cannot contradict the deed restrictions or 720. And then lastly, the rules and regulations. And the same thing, they cannot contradict anything above that. When the new document comes out, there'll probably be questions of why didn't they do this, why didn't they do that. Every single section of the old document was reviewed. A lot of things we wanted to do were not implemented because they would contradict the deed restrictions. That being said, George, you mentioned about losing your privileges when you're speeding. Again, before you really delve into that, I hope that you'll review the rules and regulations new document. We tried our best to address that, yet stay within the deed restriction. So, again, it's been a long 15 months. We're glad to be finished with it. And just like Linda did, I want to acknowledge Gail Metcalf for her hard work. At no point in time did she have a vote on anything we had to do with the new document. Her knowledge of the deed restrictions and 720 was invaluable to us, and she made a great secretary. That document you have in front of you is a product of her. That's all.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much. The other Linda.
The other Linda. Unit 4. Okay, you're talking about the vendors on Sunday. Why can't we have a sign put up at the guardhouse saying no vendors allowed to come in unless of an emergency or something on Sundays? That would make it easier on those working if there's a sign up and they see it in advance. So, you know, if somebody's air conditioner or heat goes bad for emergencies.
Right, water
we'll
heater,
still-
things like that.
we'll
That
still
is an
allow them.
emergency. Yes, I totally agree.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And also on the new rules and regulations that they just brought up, it says, with the exceptions of 8 AM on a Sunday or holiday, that means that they can come in on an exception. Well, I'm sorry, mowing a lawn right now is not an exception, so it needs to stop.
And I think common sense prevails on that. You know, somebody's water heater goes out, things like that, you know, I consider that an emergency.
Tracy McCumber, Unit 2. I just want everybody to know, I am the chairperson for the development committee, and I had quite a few inquiries about the parcel out front and being mowed, because after the cows left, it obviously didn't get grazed. And at any rate, I had numerous phone calls, emails, etc. I contacted the developer. The parcel has been mowed, so everybody, I hope everybody's happy. So we'll keep an eye on that, and I have direct contact with the developer, so if we have any issues, you're more than welcome to contact me, and I will take care of those. Also, I do not really participate in social media, but I was told that there had been talk of, oh, they're just going to start construction. We know that's not true. It will not start until the first quarter of next year. So, again, I just want to clarify that. But again, I implore you to, if you have questions, I can certainly get those answered through the developer. Thank you.
Rob. Tracy, what is your unit? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Unit 2.
Thank you, Tracy. And also, you know, she talks about social media. It's really hurting us. All the negative comments. It's really time for everybody just to grow up, I guess, and get off social media. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Rich, did you have anything? I know you do. Don't act like you don't. Don't act all shy now.
Mr. Grant, Unit 3. Just want to thank everybody, all the workers for the car show, and let the people know that even the men's club did not pay for this car show. It's all free. All the money I went out and picked up, all the vendors, knocked on their door, I collected $1,500 worth of money. They're just asking for it. So simple. Hey, shake hands, someone sell it. Worked out very nice, but the one thing I'm mad about is people come up to me and says, what are you doing this for? Well, because I'm, here, you do it, you're in charge, I walked away. I let them be in charge of the car show. Everyone was crying. If I'm running it, I'm running it. I got 30 years experience in doing this. It's a piece of cake. Okay, so simple. And media, I'll tell you right now, somebody goes on Facebook and says, well, $25 is a lot of money for a car to enter. $25, let's see. The first 10 cars got 100 hours back for $25. That's better than getting CD money. You laughed. That was 10 of the top people. Food coupons, oil change. I gave away $1,000 worth of that. Next group, I gave away 10 free lunches, $25. And went on and on and on. Everybody got their choice out there. And every driver, it was free lunch. It was free. You could have brought out a car that needed a lot of work, doesn't matter. He would get more than the $25. So we're having it again next year. I have a lot of good people. I want to thank Terry, his wife, my family.